Denver 7 News starts right now.
The Colorado National Guard stepping in to help crews fight this wildfire burning in Boulder's Sunshine Canyon. Hundreds were forced from their homes this morning. Tonight, most of them still not allowed to return home as the fire burns dangerously close. And we're talking with some of those residents who were forced to leave, many of them fearing the worst. And for some, it's bringing back memories of fires that broke out in the same area in the past. But first, fire officials in Boulder are about to give a live update on that fire burning in Sunshine Canyon. Let's listen in.
Remarkable news is the fire remains at 62 acres. It has not grown. The footprint, air operations are continuing. There's about 50 fire apparatus that responded today. We have about 250 firefighters actively working the fire through the course of today. The plan for tonight is that we're going to keep the mandatory evacuation order in place throughout tonight. There is some concern about being in a red flag up until midnight. There's a wind event that's possibly forecasted around midnight. Things get exponentially more complex in the dark. We're limited by air operations, and we're not able to utilize aircraft in the middle of the night. Evacuations are harder, so we're going to keep the mandatory evacuation order in place. At this point, that affects about 426 homes within the mandatory evacuation perimeter. The plan for tomorrow is to continue air operations, probably in a slightly lesser scale. They're going to continue to try to dig line around the fire. The containment, it remains at about 20%, although they are able to start getting some hand lines dug in. One of the complicating factors that the fire guys have encountered today is the lack of hand crew availability being this early in the fire season. We've had a lot of mutual aid response, as I said, about 250 firefighters throughout the metro area that have come to assist us. They're taking guys off engines and trying to form hand crews. A lot of the fire perimeter is very remote. It's going to be very difficult to try to get water up there. That's going to be a main strategy for tomorrow, is to keep it within that perimeter.
How long will you guys continue to work? You said that a lot of times your flying can't go through the night, so what do we expect?
Right, I'm not sure what time air operations are going to cease for tonight. There will be fire crews on the perimeter overnight. Sheriff's deputies will be patrolling within the perimeter and providing high visibility patrols since it is still a mandatory evacuation order. There will be a couple engines in the area for structure protection, especially on the city and county border where the urban population really starts to interface.
And the evacuees, where are they going to sleep tonight?
The East Boulder Community Center off of Sioux Drive is an evacuation shelter. It's staffed by the Red Cross. For those that don't have somewhere to go tonight, they can shelter there. Many people are staying with friends or family in the area. I'm not sure how many different agencies. We have 50 different apparatus and 250 firefighters was the last estimate I got. They all come from a number of agencies from local and state resources.
You said the National Guard helicopters will not be here tomorrow.
We'll probably have a limited use. They really were able to attack the fire really well today from the air, which they were able to maintain the fire at 62 acres. There is a possibility that one of the Blackhawks will continue to help with airdrops tomorrow, bucket drops. They're looking at actually bringing in a Type 3 helicopter, which is a little bit smaller for bucket drop work, and they can get into some tighter places that they can't with the larger aircraft.
What are the weather conditions supposed to be like tomorrow? Expectations of what you might be able to do?
Very similar to today. I think the forecast was in the low to mid 70s. Same general relative humidity, Haynes index. So very similar. They're hoping that they can keep control of it overnight and really start mopping up tomorrow.
Is it accurate to say homes are still threatened at this point?
They could be. I'm not sure where the fire is in the actual perimeter. I know that we have not had any reports from the field of any lost or damaged structures. So at this point, we don't believe we've lost any property in the fire. As far as how close it's gotten to homes within that area, I'm not sure.
Any idea of the cause yet?
At this point, we've been able to rule out things like lightning strikes or weather-related, downed power lines, things like that. That causes us to speculate that it's human-caused, man-made. In the general area where that fire was reported to us by Sunshine Canyon and Timber Trail, or Timber Timber Lane is a very social trail network. A lot of people are in and out of there. We know that there's a lot of transient campsites in that area. So we're speculating that the fire has some sort of human cause.
What about pre-evacuations? Can you kind of explain that, the numbers?
Yeah, so the pre-evacuations are areas where we've asked people to be prepared to evacuate if the fire were to jump the line, or we'd have a significant wind event and a shift in the fire. So we ask those people to be prepared to go. There's about 800 and some odd homes within that area. Those people will get a message similar to the pre-evacuation notice they already got if we move it to a mandatory evacuation.
I've been speaking with a few people at the shelter, and they said that they've been able to go back in and out of their homes all day today. So they're concerned about burglaries and robberies in their homes. Is there anything law enforcement's doing with that?
I'm not sure how they got in and out of the fire perimeter because the roads are closed. We are aware this comes up. It's an issue and a concern for all homeowners in every fire where we have mandatory evacuations. We will have patrol deputies in the area patrolling overnight, contacting people, making sure that those that are within the fire perimeter belong there and are either associated with fire operations or some other connection.
When will they be told in the morning that it's not updated?
Yeah, so we're going to reassess in the morning the need for evacuations, and again, it depends on what our overnight weather and fire behavior becomes. We're hoping to have an update sometime maybe between 8 and 8:30 in the morning to be able to provide.
Is that when the next media update will be as well?
Sometime around that. It hasn't been set, but we will post it.
Can you talk a little bit more about how unusual it is to have a wildfire in March and the impact on resources?
Well, it's a little bit unusual, although we experience fires around here all year long. It presents a challenge because it's the typical off-season for a lot of wildland fire resources, which makes resource acquisition a little bit more difficult.
And you are listening to a live press conference from Boulder County on the Sunshine Fire. Fire officials there updating the situation. It is now 20%, contains 62 acres. The good news, they don't think they've lost or damaged any structures. Tonight, they are concerned about wind. That's why they say they're going to keep those mandatory evacuations in place. That includes 426 homes. And Denver 7 keeping a close watch on this fire for you and your loved ones. We continue our team coverage tonight with Mark Boyle. He's live for us in Boulder tonight. And Mark, the fire is impacting a lot of people in that area.
That's right. We're here at CU's campus here. This is the women's lacrosse field where it was supposed to have a nationally televised game on Pac-12 network, as well as fans and players here today. That was all moved inside because of this fire. We want to show you some video from Air Tracker 7 today of this fire and all the smoke that this fire is putting off. Now, you can really smell all the smoke from this fire all around Boulder, having a big impact on people that are out recreating around here today. And it's keeping a lot of those people inside today, as well as all the way around Northwest Boulder, clear out here to campus as well. While CU has canceled all of their athletic facilities outside and also moved everything inside, a lot of the fans here and a lot of the students on campus are still outside trying to enjoy a little bit of this sun. Now, we're going to continue to keep a look on this fire, as well as what CU will continue to do with activities in the days to come. We'll have much more from you for you from Boulder. We're live in Boulder. Mark Boyle, Denver 7.
And Mark, tonight more than 400 homes are still evacuated. No estimated time as to when those people can return home. More than 800 homes are under a pre-evacuation warning, meaning they should be prepared to leave at a moment's notice. Now take a look at this map. The orange zone is the burn zone. The yellow area shows the mandatory evacuations. The area shaded in purple here, that's the area under pre-evacuation. And the red dots are the roads closed in the area. So you can see a lot of closures going on. Denver 7's Amanda Del Castillo spoke with those forced from their homes and those threatened with evacuation.
Sunshine Canyon Road.
More than 1,000 people woke up to the unexpected. The sound of sirens and the smell of smoke forcing them from their homes, including Mark Sandercott, who only moved to Boulder 3 months ago.
I thought for sure we were going to probably lose the house.
Because of the Sunshine Fire, he was back to packing up his bags.
I grabbed my backpack, grabbed the most essential things that I thought I needed and some water, and just left.
The fire burning near his Delwood home.
And I could see the flames up above on the base of the flat irons, and was a scary moment.
Unlike Sandercott, neighbors tell us fire is a familiar scene for longtime residents living near Sunshine Canyon.
One of them was another Red Rocks fire. One was a fire way up there, and then this one.
Still, the fear of destruction is all the same.
I'm very concerned that it will spread.
The fire attracting dozens to Mapleton Avenue, watching the fire grow.
Even if it doesn't spread into the town, just the damage it will do to this beautiful natural environment is very sad.
Under pre-evacuation orders, Ann Slichter was taking the time to prepare for the worst.
So our car is loaded with everything that we most treasure, and but I certainly hope we don't have to. I certainly hope we don't have to go anyplace.
Smoke also affecting air quality. That had people like Slichter taking extra precaution.
It really is very thick, and even through the mask, I can smell it.
A long day for hundreds of Boulder residents, many whose only option is to wait.
So I've been just hanging out and wondering if we're going to lose our neighborhood or not. And so far the firefighters have been amazing, and the volunteers, and so we owe a lot of gratitude.
Reporting in Boulder, I'm Amanda Del Castillo, Denver 7.
Firefighters certainly working hard out there. Now here's an update on some of the roads and areas still closed tonight. Trails in the Red Rocks, Sanitas, Sunshine Canyon, and Wonderland Lake are still closed. Colorado Highway 119 through Boulder Canyon is back open.